Hi there, Denny here from Disney's Yacht Club Resort. We're going to have dinner tonight, but not at just any dining location. We are going to have dinner at one of Walt Disney World's signature dining locations, Yachtsman Steakhouse. Listen, it's going to be a little bit of a different dinner. This is a signature dining location, which means I will not be speaking at the table. And if I do, it'll be very little. But believe you me, I'm going to document the experience, and you and I are going to talk afterward. Listen, it's signature dining, which means that the experience should be elevated. I'm looking forward to it. Table's ready. Let's go.
I think we escape over here. Steakhouse! Great job!
Dinner is complete and it's time to talk. I have found a little chair here by Stormalong Bay. If you don't know what Stormalong Bay is, it is the sand bottom pool that both Disney's Beach Club and Yacht Club share. And it is a really cool pool. It is the best pool on Disney property, many would say. So let's talk. Let's talk about Yachtsman. We'll talk about the meal. We'll talk about the environment, the whole experience, the whole 9 yards. We will absolutely discuss this. First things first, Yachtsman Steakhouse is absolutely a signature dining experience. It is a level above what you and I as guests may experience in other restaurants. While fantastic, it's not the signature level. This is a signature level, meaning that the entire environment, the dining establishment, right on down to the experience you're going to get from your server, to the food, of course, and the price tag that goes along with the food is going to be more than you would say get at Toledo. Although Toledo, we're going to talk about Toledo here eventually, because Toledo is one of my very favorite restaurants here on Walt Disney World property. It offers an experience that rivals a signature dining experience without that signature dining price. So it's pretty fantastic. Back to Yachtsman. I digress. My family has been able to enjoy dining here on some very special occasions in the past. That's how we think of this restaurant. This is atypical of what we would normally have. You're really celebrating, and so if a Yachtsman reservation is available, we snag it. And tonight was no different. We were celebrating, and it was the place to go, and it was, I'm just gonna cut to the chase, spoiler alert, it was fantastic. It's for good reason that it was fantastic. Let's talk about the meal experience. First things first, we were seated at the most gorgeous table by a window. We got here, the reservation was at 5:30, so we both got to see the restaurant during the day and also at night. As night fell, it was lovely. We had Stormalong Bay right outside of the windows. It was the best table we have ever had in that restaurant, and I've had the pleasure of dining there. This was my 4th time eating at Yachtsman Steakhouse. This table was gorgeous, and just the timing of the reservation, it was flawless. It was perfect. So that set us up for success from the word go. You do have the Cruise Cup Lounge here attached to the Yachtsman Steakhouse. So if you're wanting something, just an alcoholic beverage, you have your pick. I can tell you that there were alcoholic beverages enjoyed at the table tonight by family members. Loved them. All of those drinks that were consumed, from the payoff martini, which has Mozart, chocolate liqueur, and vanilla vodka, all the way to a great Cabernet was enjoyed, and a white wine as well. Like, it was, everything was enjoyed greatly. So you have your pick. As far as starters are concerned, you have 6 to choose from. A couple of us got the same appetizer, so 3 of them were enjoyed in total at the table. I had the Steakhouse Wedge salad for $15. It featured candied bacon, just the most gorgeous little baby head of lettuce. It also had radishes and farmhouse eggs, like a coddled egg, jammy egg, the best egg. Smoky blue cheese vinaigrette with it. Listen, friends, if you love a good wedge salad, this is going to float your boat. That blue cheese vinaigrette has the bite that you would expect from a blue cheese, but also it being a vinaigrette, it wasn't something thick and overpowering as sometimes blue cheese dressing can be. Delightful. And the best thing on that entire plate was that candied bacon. Candied bacon. Spectacular. So brown sugary. Oh, that was so good. I gobbled the entire salad up. I think I left one thinly sliced radish. I think that was the only thing that was left. And now that I recall leaving it, I'm not sure why I did. That salad was so great. Believe it or not, I've just become someone who enjoys egg on most things. I'm sure there's some things in life that I don't want an egg on, you know, a dessert, maybe not. But a salad, yes. A jammy, lovely, runny, somewhat runny egg, even more so. That was really, really good. If the egg is not your thing, no worries. It's totally off to the side. You don't have to have it. The shrimp cocktail for $21 was also enjoyed by a couple of my family members at the table. I had my own shrimp. It comes with lemon, and it comes with 6 of the most gorgeous shrimp you are going to lay eyes on, with a little bit of fresh dill on top. Those shrimp, spectacular, perfectly poached. But let me tell you the stellar part of the entire thing. It was that horseradish filled cocktail sauce. Spectacular. I love horseradish in my face when I love making my own cocktail sauce and putting a ton of horseradish in it. This is that. It is lovely. Really nicely balanced. Also at the table, a couple of family members had that lobster bisque. Listen, lobster bisque is one of the calling cards of Yachtsman Steakhouse. It is something that they pride themselves in, and rightfully so. It comes with a creme fraiche on top and a lobster biscuit floating in it. Lobster biscuit. You want the lobster biscuit. You want the whole thing. It is creamy and so good. If you're at all like not someone who would normally get a lobster bisque because you're concerned that maybe it would be in the slightest like fishy or really seafoody, it's not fishy at all. It is creamy. It is rich. It's really good. So feel free, if you want to roll in and have one of the things that Yachtsman Steakhouse is most known for, it's that lobster bisque. Incredibly good, and it's popular for good reason. Moving on to the steak section of things, you've got an 8-ounce filet mignon, a 12-ounce New York strip, a 14-ounce roasted prime rib, and you have a 16-ounce ribeye on the menu, all in varying prices, right hovering around $50 to $55. Now you also have land and sea options. If like steak isn't exactly what you want for the evening, now there is a short rib on the menu that leads the whole land and sea section, and that short rib, I have had it before, friends. It is as good as you think it would be. It is so, I enjoyed it. If you roll in and you're just not down with the steak that night, that short rib just falls apart so good. And listen, I've espoused my love of prime rib before. It's just so good. Enjoyed at the table tonight. My father-in-law actually had the King Ora salmon. This is New Zealand salmon. It comes with a parsnip puree and baby carrots, and he really enjoyed it. When I tried it, it was moist, It had a beautiful, just a coral color to it. My mom-in-law was the first person to point that out. Bright, beautiful, what you would think from salmon that is just different salmon than what you and I might be typically used to. This is special salmon. He enjoyed it greatly. I felt like it didn't have like maybe it was missing a sauce. I don't know, but you don't want sauce on really good salmon, right? So you do you. If you are a salmon fan, then you make those decisions. Harmonious is going off. Remember, I'm near Epcot, so forgive those booms, but it's Harmonious time. I had the 8-ounce filet mignon. Now, here's where I have my true confession time. True confession time. When I get a steak, I like a steak more on the well side of things. I know, my apologies to every chef I have ever known, and I have actually sent apologies back via servers, but I do. I enjoy more of a well-done steak. My son, on the other hand, and also my husband, like things a little bit more on the rare side. But the 2 fillets that were had at the table tonight, you couldn't get more opposite, I think, in a Disney restaurant. So I had mine on the well side of things. My son had his medium rare. And I'm going to cut to a piece of footage here because I must tell you, first, let me tell you, my steak was so good. If you're someone who enjoys a well-done steak, something that's less pink, I know steak connoisseurs are probably taking umbrage with us right now, but that's okay. But there are some of us out there that like things a little bit more well done, for whatever reason. Your steak here at Yachtsman Steakhouse, well done or not, is going to still be amazing. It's got that beautiful rub that has been applied lovingly to that filet. So lovely, tender, flavorful, a lovely char on top. So good. Now is when I will cut to the footage of me almost passing out because my son offered me a piece of his medium rare steak. If I could tell you, I have never had a piece of medium rare steak in my life, not in my life. I can cross that off my list now. Because I almost passed out. And I don't know that I'm even kidding about that. But you'll see it on the footage here.
Take your no thank you bite.
Please pray for me. Take my no thank you bite. My son is telling me to take a no thank you bite. So the student has become the master. There we go. I'm literally having a cow. The room is spinning. Oh. It's so chewy.
Delicious.
I'm still chewing.
It's gone now.
I did it. So yes, that was the medium rare steak that I had. It was completely different than anything that I would imagine steak to be, or that steak has been my entire life. Because my mom prepared steak well done. Like that's just the way steak came. But I was really glad to be able to try that. My son enjoyed his steak greatly. Also enjoyed at the table was the New York strip, and our server was Aura, who has been with the company for years and years and years. She was wonderful. So props to Aura and everyone at the Yachtsman Steakhouse. She was a real help in guiding, in informing, and just helping us to know what our choices are and what the difference is between the different cuts of steak. So a strip will be less marbled than, say, a prime rib. A prime rib is going to be flavorful, but it's going to be very marbled. You're going to have to, you know, it's going to be a good piece of meat, but you've got to really enjoy marbling. The New York strips that were had at the table tonight were greatly, greatly enjoyed. My husband, my mom-in-law both really loved theirs. That is a sizable piece of meat, friends. Sizable. So please come hungry and you will enjoy it. On the side of all of this, the butcher cut options, you'll have fingerling potatoes, roasted tomatoes, and really that's just kind of a little accoutrement. You know, it's nothing really substantial. Before we get to the accompaniments, to the sides, just for those who are vegetarian, there is a trumpet mushroom dish on the menu. There's, like we said, the short rib already. There's a cioppino, a seafood cioppino. The table next to us received the cioppino, and it was, I mean, the aromas just kind of filled the area. If you are someone who doesn't necessarily like shells on in your cioppino, please know, traditionally, you're going to have some shells going on. Same thing here at Yachtsman Steakhouse. Everything comes with shells on. As far as the steakhouse sides are concerned, these are shareable, like we see at other Walt Disney World restaurants like Toledo. It's something for the entire table to kind of have a scoop, because remember, what comes with those butcher cut options is really just like, it's a little something cute on the side of your main dish. It's not really something substantial to eat. Worth noting, the entrees on under the land and sea options actually do come with sides, so you get a little bit more with the meal. We had 3 of the steakhouse sides. The truffle mac and cheese. We had the hot honey bourbon Brussels sprouts, and we had the roasted mushrooms. Now, we'll start with the mushrooms. We're not talking button mushrooms or baby bella mushrooms. These are smaller mushrooms, very petite, a little crispy. Some of them are crispy, so just the perfect pairing for that steak. If you get one of those butcher cut steaks, you're gonna want some mushrooms with it. The hot honey bourbon Brussels sprouts, I hear hot honey and I think, oh, it's gonna be a little spicy. It's gonna be some heat applied. Not too much heat going on with this. A lot of sweet from that. Remember, we got honey involved here, so, and bourbon. So something sweet, a little bit of kick, but really it kind of underlies the sweetness. So it's there, it lingers, but not too much. So if you're heat averse, you should be okay. But that truffle mac and cheese, layers of the most gorgeous cheese, and of course a little bit of earthiness from the introduction of truffle. Goodness gracious, that is so good. You might get those sides and think, oh my gosh, those aren't going to go very far. They do actually go far, because you are eating quite a meal. We got to get to dessert. It was a night for dessert, so we got to talk about that. On the menu are 5 options for dessert. The 3 highly recommended desserts were the strawberry shortcake, the chocolate cake, and the Celebrating Layers of Magic dessert. Now, that Celebrating Layers of Magic dessert is for the 50th anniversary. It is going away mid-March 2023. So if you're watching this after that, I'm so sorry. I'm sure something else incredible will take its place, so hang in there. I'll start with that dessert first. The Celebrating Layers of Magic has a lovely layer, just a thin little sponge cake layer to it. It has layers of espresso chocolate mousse. It has caramel cake. It has chocolate ganache. It has the flavors of cassis going on, which is going to be a little sweet, little tart going on, made of macerated currants. Friends, this was so good. It is big enough for sharing. If you're getting a couple of different desserts, you'll be okay with that. It's not a ton, but every person can have a little wedge. This dessert reminded me of a Smith Island cake. If you're from Maryland, you might know what a Smith Island cake is. It is just thin layers of cake stacked, you know, in between icing. Holy cannoli, that espresso caramel mousse was so good. The caramel cake layers, I mean, I dissected one of the little wedges because I wanted to isolate the flavors and just think through how they all kind of went together, but also how they tasted separately. Chocolate ganache, like the whole thing was so good. That really, I think that was my favorite. The other one we got was the chocolate cake, and as Aura explained it, it is a very dense chocolate cake, so dense that they give you a steak knife to cut through it. It's beautifully done. It has the Yacht Club lighthouse in chocolate, and it's very tall, as you can see, but my husband had the great idea of turning it on its side and cutting it into rolls. So glad that we did, because I don't know how much more of that I could have eaten. It was like it was akin to a flourless chocolate cake. You know how dense and rich those little babies can be. So good. Again, chocolate ganache going on, the richest chocolate cake. It was delicious. It also had like a raspberry coulis on the side, which offered some bright notes to it. If you want that type of thing, I was just looking for the chocolate. That chocolate crumble that's at the base that kind of looks like the rocky shore or barnacles on the lighthouse, those actually had the flavor of both chocolate and raspberry in them. They were fun. They provided extra texture, crunchiness. Friends, so good. Really, really so good. And that was the meal. We had a little bit of everything. Let me just tell you, it was incredibly good. Like I said, this is the best experience we've had at Yachtsman Steakhouse. We've had other really good experiences, don't get me wrong. But tonight there was just some extra special stuff going on. The table that we had was flawless. We were there and we were celebrating. Aura, our server, top notch. So thankful for her. And everything that came to the table really was delicious. The atmosphere within the restaurant itself, it's not stuffy at all. It's very arts and crafts. The whole thing is very craftsman done. The chandeliers, everything. If you've ever been to the Grand Californian, it's kind of that aesthetic. It's very arts and crafts movement, very craftsman forward. The cruise cup that's adjoined the cruise cup lounge, same thing, just the aesthetic matches beautifully. As soon as you are escorted into the Yachtsman Steakhouse, you see the show kitchen right there. You actually rewind. As soon as you walk in, you see the butcher case. You see where all of that amazing, all of those amazing steaks are kept throughout the day. They are cut daily. They are chosen, cut by hand by the head butcher daily. Like nothing is hanging out for very long here. Nothing at all. It's going. And you can take a look to see what the different cuts are as soon as you walk in. They show you beautiful examples. So linger there for a moment if you want to. Take a look at your options and then take a look at that show kitchen. I had the opportunity to observe the team just after the entire meal was done. And let me tell you, they were hopping on it with the different sides that needed to go out with each dish. And then at the end of a rush, they celebrated and really, you know, just encouraged each other in that moment. It was really, really cool to observe. And I was kind of around the corner, like, but it was hard to miss. It was really neat to listen to. The everything's beautiful in that restaurant. It is, you know, from the black cloth napkins to the white cloth tablecloths, everything is beautifully done. It's staged in a very fancy without being pretentious way. If that's more your vibe, I think you'll really enjoy this. Just to help you as you navigate, if you are not staying at the yacht club and you get to the yacht club, maybe you've taken a ride share over, or you've driven, if you've got a car on property. If you walk into the lobby of Disney's Yacht Club Resort, you'll want to hang over to the left. Walk toward the back left corner, you'll see Ale and Compass. another fabulous dining location. We will get to that eventually. But you take the hallway on past Ale and Compass, it's going to take a jog to the left, another jog to the left, and then a turn to the right, and you're going to find Yachtsman Steakhouse down at the end of the hallway. It is kind of like you're walking toward the beach club, but still staying inside Disney's Yacht Club Resort. I think that's it. I hope I didn't miss a thing. Everything that I tasted tonight was incredibly good. Let me know if Yachtsman Steakhouse is a favorite of yours. Have you been there on your Disney vacations? What did you think when you went? Is it on your Disney bucket list to stop by and have a meal at Yachtsman? Let me know down in the comment section. I would love to have a conversation with you about this. I look forward to it. If Yachtsman Steakhouse is not on your bucket list, what is on your Walt Disney World bucket list? Please let me know that down below as well, because I would love to know. And I might have to add it to my own bucket list. Please let me know. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I really appreciate it. Listen, if you want to follow me on Instagram for fun in between the videos, follow me at Denny_Sunderly. That's DENI_SUNDERLY. If you've not already liked this video, please consider doing so. If you enjoyed it at all, if you learned a little something new, it would mean the world if you would like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. All those things. Would love to have you do that. If you're looking for other videos of mine, check down in the description box below. I've put some videos in there that you might enjoy. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I appreciate you giving of your time. Your time is incredibly precious. And I thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this meal at the Yachtsman. Now I need to go night-night, I think. Take good care, everyone. Bye.